Welcome back to the Ridealong channel here today, where it's a very gusty day, way more than it normally is. It's on and off, powered up on a 5 metre and a 103 that I'm currently on, a 5 metre Spy from 0.7, a 103 Code, a freestyle wave. I thought I'd have a little look, because it's such on and off conditions, at efficiency in these marginal conditions. Because of the conditions I'm in, there's a camera right about there on my clue. Another one, hey, up there, sticking out the back of my harness. I thought that might give a nice angle of what's going on. And one of the key things to start with is tactics over technique. And right now, I'm heading upwind. I'm sailing towards the wind, I'm watching for that wind. And until that moment when the wind got that little bit stronger, I wasn't actually hooked in. That is a technique, but it's a tactical choice not to hook in. While it's quite gusty and on and off, being hooked in too much could be what sends me accidentally catapulting forward falling in forwards or backwards. There's a little gust. The little technique comes in now. I'm just giving the gust a test. Rather than just trying to get planing straight away, actually I can get planing, and even in this gust actually I'm still slightly going upwind. If I need a little bit more, I'm going now a little bit more across the wind. I've straightened, just about into a straight position, straighter stance. There's the wind. There we go, back upwind that little bit more. You can probably also notice from the clue camera, I haven't actually put my back foot in the strap just yet. The problem would be if I stamp into that back strap too early, accidentally upsetting the trim of the board and skewing into the wind. Now there's a bit more wind. There we go, I can go into 2 straps. And even thinking about tactics before technique, although there clearly was technique there, now I'm in some wind, I might have some fun and go around a nice jibe. But what you probably don't want to be doing is trying to do a planing carve jibe of any sort, unless you're in the wind. Just adjust my harness lines. First run out since I rigged this sail. Now, gusty conditions, trying to stay efficient in a very straight stance, the straight 7 if you watched the video I've made on stances. I'm actually not 100%, I'm fully powered up just yet, so this back foot doesn't need to be in the straps. Just so you understand a bit about the kit I'm on too, actually. This 103 Code, the freestyle wave from starboard, I've got it set up on a thruster setup, which is why you might be thinking those foot straps are a long way in and forwards. With the thruster setup, you can get away with having your foot straps a bit further inboard and forward. You've got the leverage of 3 fins rather than needing to be right on the rail with 1. Now I hope from the clue camera as well you can see the sail opening and closing quite a lot, and a lot of adjustment of foot pressure. Because the wind right now isn't as clean and consistent as I would dream for, nor can my position, be it the stance or whether I'm sheeted in or out. Now here comes a bit more wind. I'm going to go for a bit of a bear away, and there's another reason that thruster setup comes in handy. It's much easier to stay upright and over the top of the board, particularly in that bear away and carve. Just because it's on my mind right now, I hope from the camera behind me, or probably not the clue one, and I'm going to replay the clip just as I stop there in the lull. My back hand is right up by my harness line, and my front hand is forwards. That's a good indicator that my lines are too far back. Either that or I need to get my hands further back, but I know right now there's too much power. If I, even in the light wind here, if I try and balance the sail wants to pull me into a, let's say, a non-planing forward loop. It wants to catapult me over the front. That's the indicator that those lines are too far back. And I'll tell you why. It's because yesterday I used the same boom on a 5.7, no, a 5.9. and I haven't changed the harness line since. I switched the boom over and didn't change the line, so that would be very logical. Now, in the lull, not much wind at all. You'll see the sail is opening and closing. It's not just locked in one position. Trying to test that wind, feel what it's like, and most importantly, I suppose, sailing back upwind while I'm in a bit of a lull. There's no point just trying to go downwind. You'll also, I hope, notice that I'm very upright. I'm very on top of the board. My feet are inboard and forwards, and we wait. The last thing I need to do is start hanging around in the straps, hoping for a gust. Inboard, forwards, right up by the foot strap, and the bottom of the mast just there. That means that when that wind does hit me, is that the moment? No, not quite. The board will stay flat and start to plane a bit earlier. That's it going. You can now see me still pointing upwind, and I can tell there's definitely not enough wind here, but while I was testing it, the front foot stayed forwards and was driving the board to try and flatten it off. It's a bit more of a gust. I'll show you here now that you can see my back foot is actually lifted. I call that the stiletto back foot. And that's what's driving that board forwards. Pushing that board forward and hopefully onto the plane. Very similar there. I'm not yet onto the back foot strap. Not really on the plane. A few little ideas there about being efficient when you're on marginal conditions and you're not planing the whole time. And remember, I'm doing this, I'm weighing roughly 80 kilograms on a good day. Currently on a 5 meter and a 103, and yeah, when that wind's in, is that my wind? That's my gust. A little pump to get me onto the plane there, and I'm across the wind. There we go. And I suppose that's the question mark when it comes to a beach and you're rigging up your kit. Do you rig for the gusts or do you rig for the lulls? I reckon right now I could be on a nice big 6.5. I've got my ACX no cam free race sail. I could be on that, and something like the Futura that maybe you've seen in some other movies I've done, or the Isonic, something bigger and free riding. But then as soon as this gust comes in, okay, that kit would hold me down quite nicely, but I'd be very powered up. I've gone for the smaller kit because when the power's on, whee, I can then do some flat water wavy style moves like this. We'll bear away and back up again. I rigged up for the gusts, not for the lulls. Anyhow, thanks as always for joining me here on the channel. Don't forget to whack that subscribe button, leave me a comment, and I'll see you back here soon.